Hola, Konnichiwa, Salaam, Ciao Namaste. Peace to all. This is the pink elf in the room? Nah. This is Soulology, the science of the soul. And we're now, by the way, the reason why it took me a minute, we're going to be working on a way to structure more things, like I said, and this will be a part of it. For example, we'll be discussing for today about what was my reason for being vegan. And we will be going into details pretty much. We're going to be going over simply like the reasons, how that energy had affected me, the ideals of it, and just simply a bit more. I believe this isn't the only way. So, first off, now the reason why I chose to become vegan was for a few reasons. One of the first reasons was I was told in the sense that, what do you think a millionaire or a billionaire eats? We treat our bodies very horribly, and we're always looking for a cheaper way to eat food instead of what works to keep us in good health. My main concern was to treat myself as such, because when you're saying what is a millionaire or billionaire eat is one thing, but being that which you choose to be. If you are looking to make wealth or be healthy or whatnot, then being that helps change the perspective of it all. Because you are being health, you are being your wealth, knowing you are taking care of your body, you are pushing yourself, you are pursuing what you desire. The second reason of that would be that I do have a great care for animals, but not only that, I realize that all things are connected to us, one way or another. No matter what you do in life, there is a connection between the animals and you, and that is simply because you have to recognize that animals have as much of a soul as you do. The only difference is they are on a different frequency of thinking and evolution in comparison to you. You, in a sense, are, as you would say, sentient. You speak, you do things constructively, creatively, using imagination as well to create what you desire. Animals may not have that perspective. Some of them are very creative to certain extents, but none of them have reached the height of where we are in today's society. But that being said, treating them as such is vitally important to me because of the fact that they're one with who you are. Souls, as separate as they may be, are one and the same, a part of one part of soul. And I'll go into more detail on that in another video, but you are all connected to that. Everything from the planet, the trees, the rocks, from the clouds, to the animals itself, as part of all of this. This is all in connection to who you are. And last would be because I greatly care to extend my life and push myself much further than possible by living longer. And that means taking care of your body. Your body, as I say, is your temple. But I see it like this. Your body's like a car. And no, you can't switch it out for a new one. But your body, if you treat the car right, if you give it the right oils, if you fix it up constantly, and you make sure to check on it every time, constantly and continuously, you'll have a car that runs perfectly. Your body, if you treat it right, if you constantly check how it's functioning, if you look to find things that work and don't work for you to keep your health in order, you will find things that work. And on top of that, of course, like I said, meditating and exercise as part of that, because your mind is just as important as your body. And making sure you watch what you eat, in a sense, if you really do care for you, what you put in it, whether it be alcohol, whether it be smoking, whatever it is, watching those parts. And I'm not saying in any sense I am perfect to any of this, but what I'm saying is just through observation, the obvious things, which is simply that, to expand that, those things are a part of what builds health. By getting rid of those parts in your life, it wouldn't matter what people say, in a sense that if you do this and this, you'll be fine. No, those things do harm your body, period. And that's just the observation and the obvious truth. And to understand that is vitally important to who you are. And what we'll be going over, the next thing is, how did this exactly affect my energy? This affected my energy by simply, it boosted it. When I had first tried what was the 7-day vegan challenge, it was a cakewalk for me because I've done fasting where I've had to do those things before in the past, so I was very used to it. So I did notice I had a boost in energy, and I also noticed I was starting to slowly but surely not get sick anymore. It boosted my immune system, and on top of that, my energy of what I needed to get done, I would constantly, and still at times constantly, sometimes I'm not, because I'm always working on other things, but I'm constantly up working on other projects and other ideas to create something new and profound. And that can help out a lot with people who feel in a world where they are tired, or they're frustrated, or they're getting sick, or they're trying to do too many things and they don't have the energy to do it. What it did for me was boost my system, and it boosted my system simply because of course, the fruits and vegetables and everything. But you have to understand, when you are eating, for example, meats and grains, your stomach, it has to, of course, as you know, go through the intestines. That being said, some of the food that does entail grains and meats are known to take 24 hours to actually be digested. And that is mostly because as they go through the intestines, they get stuck around the ringgit area of it. And think of it like a little crack. And in the crack, it can just get stuck in there. Just like grains, of course, as well, they can get stuck in there, and it takes time for it to digest from the body. And this can slow down the process of how the body works. But however, when you are on more of a diet, a plant-based diet, we'll say, it speeds up the process because there is no work being done on trying to push out food or process the food, all the chemicals and everything, including the meat itself or the chemicals from other foods, no matter what it is. Like I said, the grains as well. There are lots of goodies with grains in them, but it takes time to process that stuff and then push it out of your system. And those chemicals can also be stuck in your body one way or another, going to your liver when we talk about gallstones, going through your body, creating mold, and so much and so on. I mean, so on and so forth. So taking time to take care of your body was what was important to me. And I'm still, again, like I said, it's like a car. You constantly have to check it. So I'm still constantly working on making sure my body is at its full energy, that it is clean. There are things I'm looking into doing more, and I will most likely talk about these experiments later on to show you what what can happen or what can benefit you in a sense. But of course, that is how it boosted my energy. And the next thing I desired to go over was the simple fact of my ideals on it. And why is being vegan so good in a sense? My ideals, like I said, not everyone has the same ideals, but I feel in a sense that this can work for people when it comes to boosting your energy and pushing you forward and sharpening your mind in what you need and what's necessary for you. For people who desire, in a sense, because my ideal is health is wealth, but also I care greatly to live a very long life. And by all means necessary because of how important health is to me. And now, for some people, of course, that might not be the case. And we have the ideology of believing that I'll take care of myself later. And then when later comes and we get sick and we have to go to the hospital, we have to pay a bunch of money for making sure we're healthy. And that's the thing you should really think about. That was my ideology as well on it, is what so many people say, that being vegan is expensive, but yet no one looks into creating a way to make it less expensive. There are plenty of places where it's not expensive. If you go to the right places, you'll literally find ways to make it work for who you are. But when you come with the mindset of it's too expensive, you keep in your mind that it is, instead of observing if there might be a possibility that it's not. Because even in my own experience, when I was eating meat, it cost a lot of money to buy a lot of the products I was trying to buy one way or another. There was really no difference. It's the same old thing. It's just a mindset that we believe to be true. Change your mindset and you'll realize that you might find more than you can imagine. That there's much more to this than meets the eye. I have a great care for animals and whatnot, but like, each person has their own reason for doing what they do. Some do it for health. Some do it for animals. Some do it because perhaps they want more in life. Who knows? It all depends on the person, but my ideology is to the extent of my wealth for the care of the animals. And it's, to some people they see, oh, you care about animals and so on and so forth, but you have to understand, I say this because of the fact that we are all souls. And I see how animals are just as important as I am. I treat animals as such because what you see in others, you see in yourself. I treat animals with care and kindness and love because of the fact that I care for humans, the human species, the human nature. And show care, kindness, and love, unconditional love. So, last but not least, we'll talk about that this isn't the only way. I wanted to leave this at the end no matter what, because no matter what I am saying about being a vegan, the one thing I want people to keep in mind is that mine is not the only right way, in a sense. That there are many ways to keep healthy, even for those people who do eat meat. Now, the one thing I might state is, will it extend your life? Well, it depends on how you go about it. There's no flaw or statement in if it will work or if it won't work. It all depends on you, in a sense, on how you take yourself. What I tell people, though, is if you do eat meat, to eat less of meat and more vegetables and more fruit, because of the fact that you weren't meant to really eat those things in the first place, especially all the time, continually. And know that there is a consequence to everything you do in life, even the way you do your diet. If you eat a lot of red meat, yes, expect to get sick at some point, no matter how long you eat it. Yes, enjoy it if you like, but just realize the effect really is that you can't get sick if you don't put the right nutrients in your body. If I'm a vegan, yes, there is even a consequence to being vegan because, of course, like as I think I've said this before, but you can be mocked because of the fact that you're vegan and so on and so forth. And personally, this doesn't matter to me. It's really a point of accepting who you are as you're growing into that, and if you care for yourself. There are many ways to go about doing what you desire, but know that it's all up to you on how you choose to do things. So in conclusion, this is why I chose to be vegan, what it does to boost my energy in any sense, my ideals, and knowing that, of course, there are all many ways to go about it. But if you're going to be vegan in a sense, or if you're having trouble, please don't hesitate to reach out to me or comment down below and message me about your thoughts about that. I'd love to talk to you, or if you have anything about health, I'd love to talk to you guys about that. But realize how what you eat connects to your soul and how it can help you, it can work with you or against you in a sense, and creating the journey and experience you choose. You have to realize how beautiful, how amazing, how magnificent, how divine you are as the gods, the goddesses, and the creators within this world and the next. So remember that to know thyself is to know the creator within. And to everybody out there, have a good morning, a great afternoon, and a fantastic evening. To everybody, peace and namaste.